Hi, this is Lindy Kaiser with Clearance Jobs. We've had a lot of questions recently about security clearance upgrades. Not sure why. 'Tis the season for a clearance upgrade, perhaps. Maybe employers are seeing the just huge issues in trying to get new people into the cleared process or onboarding new people. They're trying to upgrade the people that they already have to make them more able to work in different positions. Always interested in the clearance numbers. Maybe we're seeing more positions with higher level of sensitivity. Post Snowden, we saw a lot of issues where they were trying to go down to the lowest level of access possible. I feel like we're seeing a policy tide shift saying like, hey, we don't necessarily just want to downgrade people to downgrade them. We want to make sure people are cleared at the level and that they need to be in. Anyway, the question specifically here was, my company wants to put me in for a top secret clearance, but they have threatened to say that I have to remain with them for a certain period of time after they put in for the clearance upgrade to reimburse for the cost of the clearance upgrade. Again, if I jump ship early, they're gonna have to pay for that. We've seen the retention piece is so big. I sympathize with companies trying to do that. We reached out to Sean Bigley, security clearance attorney, who is a Clearance Jobs contributor and always our go-to for a lot of these clearance legal questions. He said it would boil down to state and civil and workplace policy and law as opposed to the security clearance process piece of it. So there's not necessarily anything prohibiting or precluding an employee. We see that sometimes come to pass if your company invests in tuition reimbursement. We see that with bonuses that are paid out. Sometimes there's a certain amount of time you have to stay. So they could have that. They could say that. Where it comes in also is, do they pay for the cost of the security clearance? That's another question we get. Contract employers do not pay for security clearances. The government incurs all of those costs for the security clearance background investigation, which ranges from $500 to $5,000 for secret to TS clearances. But those costs aren't paid for by the contractor. That doesn't mean there aren't costs for going for a clearance upgrade. They have the cost of their security officer, of maintaining a personnel security program. Certainly the cost if they're maybe having to onboard and bench you for a period of time while they wait for the clearance to come on board, and they're paying you and not able to put you to work. There are a lot of nuances where we might have clearance costs. They aren't paying for a polygraph, for a background investigation, for putting you in for that. So you can always push back if an employer says that and say, hey, read this article on clearancejobs.com. You don't actually pay for the clearance. What costs are you referring to? If they actually push back, if you did jump ship early, they might have issues actually getting that money back or proving the cost or something, but they could certainly put it in a contract, and that would just be an employment contract that you go in with. I don't see it often. I think because it's a candidate's market, if you push back, your employer would probably say, okay, no problem, but it's certainly within the realm of possibility. So employers don't pay for security clearances. Are there incidental costs? Yes. Could you be asked to pony up money if you jump ship after obtaining a security clearance? Not likely. It would be down to state employment, but it certainly is possible, perhaps, potentially. Not necessarily, we can't say writ large, illegal, couldn't, wouldn't, shouldn't happen. For more on all of this fun nuance, visit us over at clearancejobs.com.